Hello everyone and welcome back to Upwell and Onwards. Now, a couple of days ago I uploaded a review video of my peppercorn Pacifics. And the response I got for the video was quite impressive. Not even 15 hours it was uploaded, over 10 views, quite a few new subscribers, and a nice friendly comment from across the Tasman. So, all I can say is thank you all very much. Now then, for today's double review, I figured you can see quite a fair bit of rolling stock already on the layout. A mix of southern and eastern. But I figure, why not up the ante to something quite a bit bigger. Whoops, hand in shot. And carriages off the rails. Bugger and bugger. You can't win these days, can you? But as for thinking of bigger and bigger, how's this? The Devon Bell and the Bournemouth Bell. Two quite impressive train packs, and yes, that's my shadow. It's to hold the boxes up, otherwise, whoop. Okay, there we go. Two quite impressive train packs, both having quite impressive locomotives and rolling stock. Bulleid Pacific and a Bulleid rebuilt Merchant Navy, both Pullman sets. Now, I do have to comment that these sets are completely different timeline-wise, as well as real timeline-wise, because the Bournemouth Bell was set, well, the train was basically around since the 30s, naturally stopped during the Second World War, as most luxury train services do. Well, did. Then, in the 1940s, when luxury services started up again, instead of the usual King Arthurs and Lord Nelsons hauling these trains, along came Mr. Oliver Bulleid's Pacifics. Namely, the Merchant Navies, West Countries, and Battle of Britain classes. Now, to be fair, the West Countries and Battle of Britons, they're basically the same locomotive anyway, just named differently. But with this, I figure, why not show the working of the Merchant Navy on a heavy Pullman service, then we'll get to the West Country on the same service. Now, this is just a little bit of a history fact. Oliver Bulleid was in fact born in my hometown. Just fixing the camera there. Bit of a tricky issue. Yeah. And not many people know that fact, nor care, as I've found out the hard way. But it is what it is, and I can't really argue. And when you look at the Hornby Pullman stock here, which when you see the big thick coupler you think, oh no, it's Hornby Railroad. Wrong. Sprung buffers. And as you can see on the underside, strips, which means the carriages light up. It's just the difference in the coupler. It's just one of these. One of the, what I like to call, clip types. Now, I'll just get to the difference of the coaches in a minute, as I've only got the Bournemouth set open, and have yet to open the Devon set. But I'll just leave one out here. But there's a difference of how the packing used to be, because here, oh, sorry, bit out of shot. There we go. Here, you can see only single holes and a little slot bit where the smoke deflectors go either side. Now, for the loco, that ain't half bad, but for the coaches, it does make it a bit tricky getting them out. Because you have to really put even pressure in the center to get it out just right. Which I find to be a bit of a pain in the neck, personally, but whether you keep your rolling stock in the boxes or not is none of my concern. But as for the Devon, I think it's after the whole... Well, I think the Devon Bell set came around after Hornby have, well, basically done all their good rolling stock. Some would say premium, I say good. Rolling stock in them couple of form. Because I'll just grab out a Pullman from the Devon set for a second as I continue setting up the coaches. Now, I know I'm keeping them out of shot, and for good reason. The coach difference, for one, with the Merc Navy out of there, because you've already seen the Bournemouth Bell coach. This is a first class coach. As you can tell, it is a named one, Rosemary. Just roll that out of the way. And here is a Devon Bell coach, as the board tells you. Now, again, pickups on the wheels so the coach lights up, but you can also see there's a NEM coupling, slimline NEM lock, NEM tension lock, as well as these rubbing bits at the end there. And how it rolls freely is another difference too. You actually feel it being a bit smooth as silk, which I really like. I really do like that. And also, I'll just grab the Bournemouth Bells coach again, aka Rosemary. Another difference you can tell between the two is the crest on the cars. Whoops, knocked the camera a bit, my bad. Now, on the Bournemouth set, you can see the pre-war crest right there. And on the Devon one, you can see the post-war crest, because the Devon Bell is a post-war Pullman. And to my knowledge, the only steam-hauled Pullman trains were the Devon, the Bournemouth, and Fight Bell. Those were the only bells that were steam-hauled. Brighton Bell, electrical. Doing a bit of shunting because put that on the wrong track. My bad. And the only way you can tell it's a Devon Bell train, really, is not by the locomotives, not by the headboards, but because of this. The observation coach. 2 of these were made for the Devon Bell train. From old Midland coaches, really. Only work one way, so at the end of a journey they would put on a turntable and flipped around. Understandable. But, I mean, look at that. Space. If you can figure out how to open one of these to put people in, good job on the challenge, because it is something I would not like to do. Oops, bit of polystyrene in there. But there we go. 2 of these coaches survive in the only 2 that were built have survived into preservation. I like that. One of which went to the States with Flying Scotsman, which I like as well. And as far as I can tell, both are in service. One is on the South Devon, I believe. And I can't remember the name of the railway because it's changed so many times. It's named so many times, but it's that line that runs between Peyton and Kingsmere. But I like this Pullman coach, the specific type, the observation car, so much that at a model show last year in my own hometown, I have gone and bought another one. This is the British Maroon livery, or whatever you call it. And it has, you can feel the board on it saying observation car, which just nicely done as one solid bit on here. I admit, that does kind of kill it a bit, but the nice red and gold look on it, that is beautiful nonetheless. That's beautiful. And unlike that one, I actually got a detail pack to put on with it. As you can see, I put the free link on there. But yeah, it's still cool nonetheless. Just put this on the line behind the Merc Navy, which is really just an over-exaggerated siding. Nearly all my Pullman coaches do light up. The only one that really doesn't is my Bachmann, or Bachmann, Mark 1. It's however you pronounce it, people. I'm not going to judge. Nor argue, because that's what trolls really like, as I found out one day. Trolls really love to argue. They whine, complain, moan, and such. But yeah, it's a nice bar car, as it says on the box. Second class, I believe. Nice Mark 1 style. Beautiful livery. Well done. Does light up, I admit. But only about up to there, then all of a sudden you got dead space. Which is why I like running it like this. That way you get the lights. And again, actually, hang on. Now I'm thrown off by the crest a bit, because it looks different to the Devon, but oh, it looks very similar to the Bournemouth set. That's a bit odd, ain't it? And I just noticed it's the same as the Mark IIs as well. That is quite odd. But yes, it's quite different, I should say. Anyhow, I am going to first run the Merchant Navy. The Merc Navy, as I like to call them. Behind a 10-coach Pullman rake, or 10-car, I should say. As Pullmans were always known as cars. I don't know why, but it's how they were known, so I'll go as what they're called. A 10-car Pullman rake. And, well, to show the difference between testing, when I put the Devon belt locomotive, which is a Bulleid Pacific, West Country, named Wadebridge, which is one of the preserved locos, as I found out while researching. Which is in its, well, I would not say original shape, because if you have a look at pictures of an original Bulleid air smoothed casing locomotive, you'll see the air smooth casing nose differs. I mean, yes, you'll naturally get the view of a Merchant Navy, but Hornby's brand new Merchant Navy, the unrebuilt ones, you can see the differences between the early British Railway ones and the original Southern, because this is actually a modified front end. Oh, and a nice way to tell the difference between West Country and a Battle of Britain, the tender. West Countries have a different style tender, the Battle of Britons. The Battle of Britons look similar to the Merc Navy tenders. This loco is more modern than the Merchant Navy, as were the original class. This has dovetail links as well as NEMs for the NEM couplers, which means you can change the couplers nicely. This one, though, well, it's got a form of coupler I like to call clips, but for the front coupler, you have to screw it in. And, I mean, it was like tapping a thread. I mean, it was like that annoying. And I'm starting to sound like a teenager. What the heck? Like, I don't know. Sorry, stereotype. Then again, we've all been teenagers before. Unless you're a kid watching this, it's what you're gonna be. Alright, as you can see, well, as you can't see, I should say, the Bulleid Pacific moves off quicker than the Merc Navy, but then again, I have to move it out of the way anyways to shunt the train together, because I got 10 coaches to sort out. For the Merchant Navy, I figure go with the original Devon Bell coach, and then for the West Country, I'll swap the observation cars over, so that way people can... I know the locos look different and all, but I just like to see the red one go, you know? Bit of a change. Alright, first of all, let's just get the center of the rake out. And if you're wondering what the heck's he talking about a rake for, it's not a gardening video. Get on your rails, you silly devil. Well, it's what coaches are known as in a full set. They were called rakes. I don't know why though. I don't know why. It's just how they were called. I just figure... The first people... I think it's an odd theory. It's a bit far-fetched, but the first people who named train sets like Pullman cars might have been like farmers or something. I don't know. It's just weird. And let's just hope, unlike my first review video, this hits under the half-hour mark. Because hand shunting in that is not easy when you're trying to stay behind the camera. And yes, I am camera shy, if you're wondering. I'd only get in front of the camera if I really have to. Like when it comes to sorting out the couplings and the points. You'll see my arms, sure. And on boxes and in the windows of carriages, you might see my silly reflection. But hang on. Note to self, if you ever do get those clip-type couplers on the Pullman cars, stay off the fat couplers because they run a lot nicer. They're easier on curves, they don't do your head in, and as I found out one day, if they go through a tunnel that's going uphill on a spiral, if they derail, they sometimes end up right on the floor. I was not happy that day. Okay, the Bulleid is now hooked up. I'll just get the camera out of the jig here. God damn, I'm jittering a bit. And we'll see how she's set. Okay, and because of ease of hand, because otherwise the control would be on the other side of the layout from where the loco was, I did have to run it all the way around, but there she is at the head of the train. So let's see how she does at slow speed with a heavy 10 car set. Can hear a bit of motor noise, but seems to be going good. Just look at that Walshup's valve gear. Look at that. Oh, and the name of the locomotive, by the way, is New Zealand Line. So naturally I took some interest in it. You can see the lights in the coaches going nicely. Except the Mark IIs, which do not have any lights at all. And here comes a nice observation car at the end. I'll just fit the camera back in the jig and... Actually, no, we'll just plonk the camera on the end of the layout and see how it runs with a thundering run pass. See how it goes. Darn, just missed it. But don't worry, the good thing of having an 8x4 layout is that it'll roar past again. Yes, that's Great Western Pannier, and whoops, dropped the camera. Sorry. Right, so welcome back, and I've been, as you can see from the siding here, I've changed the Pullman cars. But just flip it around because not many people get to see the tail end of a Pullman car that much. And it does look lovely, don't it? Now I'll just back the West Country onto the head of the train, which lights up like a Christmas tree at the moment. I run DC, not DCC, but because I find it a bit more simple, less technical. And although wiring is always a nightmare in the hobby, I do find when it all works quite relaxing. It's just the track work that can be a dog's dinner. Oop. So the loco is now slipping to start, which is quite fair because even in real life the unrebuilts were known for slipping, so they're a bit prototypical, that ain't it? I'll just get it up to speed a bit. Gave it a hand nudge. Ooh, she is biting for grip at the moment. She's biting for grip. That's it, full speed, and she's slipping like she's on banana skins. I don't know why I even said that. You know, I figure if I take the Mark IIs off, the train may go along a lot smoother. Which with some of these coaches can be easier said than done. So I'll just get back to you when I take 3 off and we'll run with a lucky 7. Okay, and we're back. I took 7 off. No, 3 off, I mean. Whoops. And now we're running with a 7-car Pullman. So, let's see how she goes. Starting off a lot better now. As you can see, running like a dream. Now, the Mark IIs were the only Pullmans on the train that do not light up. So, and this is a bit of a silly trick I'm about to do, which is put the other light up observation car in front of the Merc Navy and then light up all the track. Whoops. I forgot what line that was on. Whoops. I forgot what line that was on. And I forgot where the power feed was, so I ended up bashing the Pullman car. Speaking of which, I just realised my train uncoupled about half of its train and just bumped into the other observation car. This always happens when you try filming. You try something smart and it backfires hysterically. Back in a tick. Okay, and we're back, and as you can see, I moved the Merchant Navy as well as the Pullman observation car. Now the theory is that I light it up, turn off the light it up, turn off the room light because it's currently on 8:30 at night or something, and it shows a nice illuminated view of the loco as well as the train as I run it. So here's hoping it looks alright. I'll just get the now fixed train running and we'll see how it looks. Now, not many people would run their trains in the dark, but then again, not many people have light up coaches, which do look beautiful. I mean, it's the only way you can really look at the beauty of an Pullman observation car is when you have the lights down and you can just turn it on and see the interior of that. That is just gorgeous. And here comes the Light Pacific. There's no doubt that's a beautiful sight. And now the autofocus has gone to hell trying to work out the lighting. Oh man. But yes, that is quite an impressive set. Mr. Bulleid, your designs were beautifully done. Now, most reviewers would scale how they rate their trains and stuff like that. Last time when I did the Peppercorn Pacifics, I did no such thing, and I'll do the same again. I will not give a rating because I do enjoy. A bit of a thing I do is I would never run a locomotive or a train pack that I would not like. And it's just the way I am. And if you can hear a noise that sounds kind of grinding, that's my jig. It's actually just a little modeling vice. I'm not joking. Here is something for you to laugh at, seeing it's the end of the video. That's what's holding the camera up. Just a makeshift jig with an old drill battery as a counterweight. It looks silly, it looks daft. It's a practice set at times, but it does work. And if it ain't broke, it's all good. Thank you very much for watching. And I do hope to make another video for you all to enjoy. Good night.